my trip to the Netherlands? The Netherlands. No. We went to Amsterdam. Amsterdam. Have you already ordered? Oh, the buildings. Oh my God, the art. Cobblestone after cobblestone. The bridges. I fell into a canal. You have to go. Do it. Do you have any patat? I will have a side of mayonnaise. Oh my God, I'm losing my English. I've decided I'm gonna go by Marjolein now. How long were we there? 21 hours? Full immersion. Amsterdam. I had an affair with the stroopwafel. The what museum? Oh, you mean Vincent van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh. Did I? Go on. You know me. Absolutely not. It's too scared. Chocolate. That drinking culture is just different. I've decided to name my kids Tulip and Windmill. What? Where did this come from?
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Monday, January 2nd, 2023. Happy New Year to everyone listening and watching. I'm J.E. Skeets with the hashtag full squad here in the Classic Factory. Alongside me, as always, we got Melas.
If we're not ready for all this New Year's positivity, Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year's in a few weeks, so just do that then. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Next to Tassie, it's the beard one, Matasha Hot Boy, looking sharp in his stripes. Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. And last but not least, back from his European vacation, making the magic happen, super producer JD. Oh, wow.
Hello.
How's it going?
Great. Great to be back.
We missed you, man. We missed all you guys. But we had a good Christmas week. Mm-hmm. Just you, myself, and Jerome. And it's great to have the full squad here. It's great to be back in this building and no internet connection problems.
Seeing everybody with their new shirts. JD, like he just went to a concert wearing his Holland shirt.
Yeah. Trey?
In the stripes.
Yeah. Is this a new purchase?
No, it's a new shirt.
Yeah.
It's a new shirt, not a Christmas gift. A Christmas gift to myself, Skeets.
Oh, wow.
I know nobody's picking me out a candy striped shirt, so I had to do it on my own. And honestly, it paid off.
Oh, it looks great on camera for sure.
Yeah, that's why I did it, you know. I thought it would look great on the camera. So I haven't spoken in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's the
talk
thing.
for 2 weeks straight.
That's the thing. It's your job every day, and then
I feel like I talked about basketball more when I went home to see friends and family.
That's what happens.
That's all they want to talk about.
That's all they want to talk about.
Jeez, trying to leave work at home, you know?
Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. If you're new, thanks for joining us. Like the video, comment away there, and subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube. Send in your questions and comments to nodunks@theathletic.com, or you can tweet them in at NoDunksInc and follow us across all the social media channels, TikTok and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and what else am I forgetting?
Mastodon.
No, we're not on that. We're not on that. I feel like there is one more, but I can't remember it. Anyway,
Post.
YouTube. Should we just get in like quick trip highlights, JD? I mean, Trey was back in Chicago with family for the holidays, but you were in Amsterdam, you were in London, you were in Paris.
That's right. Yeah.
What was your favorite of the three?
I couldn't possibly pick.
Oh, come on.
I couldn't possibly pick. It's Paris. Come on. Paris is amazing. But ate and drank my way through 16 days. Incredible. Like, honestly, we had no plans. We made no reservations. Well, except for one place.
Okay.
Which fell a little flat. That was the only place. Like, it's like we're like, let's try to find a bad meal in Paris. It can't be done. You can't do it.
Yeah. It's a good point.
I believe you. I totally believe you.
Rachel and I went out for dinner at one point, and we brought back McDonald's for Jackson. He's like, bring me back something, So we went to McDonald's. I was like, this is incredible. I'm never going to American McDonald's again because
Come on.
I'm serious. Because just the care that they took just to wrap it up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's amazing.
We're starting the year with you talking about how great McDonald's is in Europe. What? Oh, man. Wow.
The highlight was McDonald's.
Yeah, okay. Sound like a real American there. Well, it's great to have everybody back here. Let's get into it because I feel it's going to take a long time because we were gone for so long. But winners and losers of the NBA weekend here on Monday podcast. Trey, why don't you get us started with your biggest winner? Again, of the weekend. We're not going to do the entirety of like the the Christmas break and the holidays.
You're lucky because it would be the Bulls.
Ooh.
They are 100% back in 11th. Currently 11th right now, but they were in 10th for a little bit there,
were.
Skeets. I was taking screenshots of the Bulls ahead of the Raptors in the standings. Wanted to send it, but
They're tied, I
We're
think,
all
right
tied
now,
up.
right? 16 and 20.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to get a
check
Bulls.
the tiebreakers. Check the tiebreakers.
I know, that's why they're ahead of them. We're
That's
going to
right.
get Bulls Raptors in the 9th, 10th play-in game. Like, for sure. Like, you can lock
Can't
that
wait.
in.
Yeah, you can lock that in.
Yeah.
Bulls are taking that one. No
Ooh.
doubt. Check the records the past couple of seasons. Anyways, winner of the weekend, biggest winner of the weekend, the Denver Nuggets. Gotta be the Nuggets. They beat the Heat on Friday. This was a comeback win. Weak line for Nikola Jokic in this one.
Boring.
19 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists. That sucks. Honestly, that kind of sucks at this point in the NBA. 17 threes, though, for the Nuggets in the win against the Heat. They shot 60% from three. 8 players were in double digits, including Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. 20 points on 7 of 7 shooting, 4 for 4 from 3, and 2 of 2 at the line. That's a perfect start right there. The Nuggets had 20 turnovers in this game. Didn't really matter because they were shooting the ball so well. Only 14 points for Jamal Murray, but he scored 7 straight in the final 2 minutes when the Nuggets really needed him. This was against the Heat again. They're a top 10 defense in the league. Sunday, last night, a more comfortable win. Kind of feels weird to say, but the Nuggets beat the Celtics pretty handily in a finals preview. I guess it is.
Sure.
Couple of 1 seeds going head-to-head against each other. Couple MVP candidates going head-to-head against each other. And we got ourselves a nice Nikola Jokic line in this one. 30 points and then 12 rebounds and 12 assists. Again, the Nuggets hit 17 threes on 56%. 5 players scored 10 or more points. All of this came without Jamal Murray. Didn't play in this one. Celtics broadcast were calling it the Nuggets' best game of the season. Grandy and Scalabrine could not believe the efficiency that the Nuggets had against a Celtics defense who's been one of the better defenses in the league for the past 2 or 3 seasons. They were campaigning. The Celtics broadcasters were campaigning for Nikola Jokic to win MVP. They were echoing what Michael Malone said before the game, saying if people's reasons for not giving Jokic the MVP is because he's won 2 in a row, that's lazy. And Grandy and Scalabrine, who have an MVP candidate on their team, are saying the exact same thing. They're like, this guy's got to be up there. They were saying Tatum is 1A.
Yeah, they were doing
and
1A,
Jokic
1B.
is 1B.
Yeah, I heard
because
that.
they're super homers, as a Boston Celtics announcer should be. There was dueling MVP chants from the Celtics fans for Tatum, and then Jokic going to the line, getting his own MVP chants. That was pretty cool to see. But I mean, when a homer broadcast is saying that you should be the MVP, maybe you should be the MVP. At the very least, Nuggets looking super scary right now because they can win clutch games. 12-5 this season so far in the clutch, tied with the Nets for the best net rating in clutch scenarios. They play incredible defense in the fourth quarters. They can also win blowouts. They're the best 3-point percentage team in the league, and they don't lose at home. 14-3 so far at the Ball Arena. They're balling at the Ball, no doubt about it. So great weekend for the Nuggets.
Always strange to see Ball Arena written on the floor. It's just odd. Just seeing it right there. Anyway, it was also odd seeing the Celtics get blown out. They just didn't bring it. Maybe it was a January 1st thing. First day of work in the new year, Jaylen Brown did say that, hey, maybe we partied a little too hard, plus the altitude. We didn't come out to play. It was disappointing. They got spanked. It was a blowout win from the beginning. It was a little surprising that Robert Williams wasn't playing against Nikola Jokic. I know the Celtics are really happy with this starting unit of Al Horford as their 5. Robert Williams just coming off the bench. But Jokic had his way. Everybody having their way. Yeah, 17 threes, destroying them from 3-point land and from 2-point land, shooting 57% from both. And this starting unit, I know Jamal Murray wasn't playing, but they have an incredible starting unit to rival the Celtics, really. I mean, the Nuggets have the second best starting 5 when you're looking at starting 5 units that have played a decent amount of minutes. Thought coming into this season that maybe the way they dissolve their bench would hurt them. But in a game like this, where Bones Highland was hot off the bench, they didn't need much more. They had Vlatko, Chanchar, and then Bones Highland. That's all they really needed off the bench. It was disappointing into the fourth quarter when Bones Highland got into it with Jaylen Brown. It was exciting. And then all of a sudden, the rim stops working. The rim was crooked, and we'll get into that. They had
we'll get to that in losers.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about those losers. Just odd crap timing, really crap timing, because we were saying Bones and Jaylen, and the Celtics were coming back, and then what a dud just to sit there 4 minutes. I said to Danielle, I'm watching a rim be repaired.
I watched it too. I watched it for 35 minutes.
I didn't mind it.
You watched the whole thing?
Whole thing. Because I'm like, there was
insane.
by
You
the
should've
other
went to
game,
bed, man.
the Grizzlies were starting to wrap up their win. The other game had ended. It was the only game on.
Yeah, it was all over.
And it was like, it was still close enough with enough time. You're like, okay, Celtics could, I mean, a 13-point lead in today's NBA is nothing. And so I'm watching it because you think it's going to be done in 10 minutes, then 15 minutes, then 20 minutes, then 20 minutes. And then it's like, just bring in another stanchion. Like, what are they doing? And when they started taking off the rim, it was like, oh, this is going to be another 15 minutes. And it was. It was like 40 minutes in total.
It was 40 minutes. And it was odd because it looked like they were sort of mocking the employees because the cameras were just zoomed in on the level, which wasn't level. And it looked like they were doing nothing because
I know. I felt
because
bad
all you
for
could
them
see
in
was
a
a
way.
level that wasn't level. And Danielle said, this is happening in a professional game? I guess because you just went down to the G League. We had been talking about going to a G League game, and she thought maybe I was watching a G League game on a Sunday night. But no, this was happening in a professional game. But it's odd. It seems counterintuitive, but I kind of liked it.
Oh.
It was too long. It was about half an hour too long.
Yeah, 10-minute delay. That's reasonable. This, they were like, they couldn't get that bubble to move. It was staying on the right side forever. Tinker, tinker, tinker. Go to the back. Tinker, tinker, tinker. Bring out another ladder. Bring out another guy. The bubble stayed in the same place.
Well, Jaylen Brown is convinced they didn't even fix it. After all that, he said, they spent all that time, and he still didn't think it looked level. That's what he was saying, and it's like maybe they just gave up at that point. Like, all right, let's just play the final 6 minutes of this game. It's crooked net.
Because they replaced the rim and left everything else.
They left everything else, yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. It happens. I guess to the best of them, Robert Williams tore that thing down an inch, and it was broken.
Wow, that was a weird scene there. But yeah, you're a true NBA sicko if you're watching 35, 40 minutes of guys tinkering with wrenches and bolts.
I was just watching
top of a ladder.
Watching what the other guys were doing. Like
Marcus Smart just sat there.
He just sat
on the ground.
like a child sitting on a
That's
baseball
what I was
field.
like.
Couple
Okay,
guys
it's
jogging.
bedtime. It's bedtime.
Yeah.
If they're sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent a lot of Christmas break making things, hanging things, dealing with levels and stud finders.
Oh, wow.
I've had enough of that. I didn't need to watch two guys who didn't know what they were doing try and figure it out. It's got to be like baseball. They go to the bullpen very early these days. When a hoop is broken like that, you get 5 minutes to try and fix it before new stanchion. New stanchion, bring it on out.
They
wheel it
obviously
on
have
out.
it back there.
They've got them back there.
Yeah.
Back there, we've walked by every single.
Yeah,
we've walked by one.
There's always one. They got to have them.
But I guess they took 5 minutes and they called in the other guy. The other guy.
You knew he was serious because he didn't have a hat on.
Oh, I thought, yeah. I thought he
Nuggets
had a
hat. Oh, the second guy did have
Second guy had a hat, and they
an
were
operations hat.
they were just looking at each other through the glass, and I'm convinced they couldn't hear each other.
Yeah.
They're like, mouthing things that the other one couldn't hear. It's off.
But don't you I mean, especially when you get to like minute 20, you're like, my heart does start feeling bad for the guys. Like, it's like, oh God. I hate. It feels like there's pressure when your wife's watching you put together like a dresser drawer, let alone 20,000 people waiting for a game to go. And it's like, and they've got these Scalabrini kept pointing out, like, how do they not have like automated like wrench guns or whatever, like bolt movers and stuff?
totally.
Like they're doing it like manually.
Yeah.
Seems strange.
It seems a little strange. I don't know. I'm not well versed in the Tool game, but it seems.
Let's get those guys on. Let's get them on this podcast.
Yeah, see,
call them.
That's their 45 minutes of fame.
Yeah. All right. Well, we slipped it in there. Otherwise, the Nuggets, a big winner of the weekend. And I was thinking, and they even talked about it because they had so much dead time.
Oh, yeah.
The Celtics broadcast did, like, just how many contenders there are. We've hit 2023. There's obviously a lot of basketball still to be played. But when you, go through all the teams, especially in the Western Conference, which feels wide open, and then, of course, there's, maybe 3 to 5 teams in the East. Are we at, the point where there's, 10, 11, 12 legit title contenders where you're like, if it broke right, matchup wise, they have the star talent, a lot of these teams, that they could win this whole thing or at least get to the finals, if you want to call it that, as a title contender? Is that far-fetched?
That's far-fetched. That's too many. I would say there are probably 10 or 11 teams who could make the conference finals, which I think is a different level of contender. And then maybe you're getting lucky if you're like a Raptors and all the superstars get hurt on the other team, then you got a chance. But I mean, I don't know. There's probably 5 contenders.
Well, okay. In the Western Conference, Denver, you just said, obviously could have been a finals preview for all we know.
Sure,
they're obviously
they're in.
What about the Grizzlies and Pelicans? Being a game behind them, seeing what you've seen from them, they're at conference finals at least.
Conference finals, but the Pelicans haven't ever won a playoff series.
Okay. So, and what would you include them or not?
I'd include them.
Okay.
This is my jam. I overestimate teams at this time of the year. I always throw too many into the group. The West, it's interesting. I'd probably have more than should be there.
Okay, well that's 3 already if you do include the Grizzlies and Pelicans. The Clippers, I mean, I know you do believe in them when Kawhi and Paul George are playing.
They could.
Okay.
I wouldn't bet on it, that's for sure. I think Denver's the favorite right now. I'd probably take the Warriors over
the Warriors they're a
teams.
lock as a contender. The Mavericks with Luka,
No, not for me.
okay, so that's where you start tapping out. So you're at
That's
like
for me.
5 basically there, and then in the West, it's Bucks, Celtics, and then you're going Sixers with what they've been doing. The Nets. No one Nets.
I'm good on Bucks Celtics.
Wow.
Yeah.
Personally.
I think I'd rather take the Suns to be a possible Western Conference finalist /finalist than anybody but the Bucks and Celtics.
Really?
Yeah.
You would take the Suns over the Nets
Yeah.
as a potential conference fun? No, I would not do that. But
great,
okay.
that's great.
Anyway, we're at 8 or
Suns or
9.
Nets,
That's fair.
what
That
you
feels
got?
better. That feels better. Tass, who you got for a winner of the weekend?
Well, I want to talk about the last 2 champs, specifically the Bucks to start, because I think this is an interesting note that Joe Ingles is balling for them. I think if he starts to ball and joins their big 4, that would be the best 5-man unit that they've had the last few years. I know it sounds a little nuts. Sit on it. Think about it. Would Joe Ingles be part of the best 5-man unit with the Bucks? I'll get to that in a sec. You'd think if I'm talking about the Bucks, I'd start with Giannis, 40 and 20. He had 2 40 and 20 consecutively. That's ridiculous. 40-20 games. I know Jokic is dropping them. Doncic is dropping them. But he is so pumped to play with Joe Ingles. On Friday against the Wolves, Ingles had 14 points, 5 boards, and 10 assists off the bench. That's a lot of assists. They've been looking for a guy to play make, and Giannis is so damn excited. Listen to this quote. Love that guy, and this is his 3rd or 4th game. Being able to come down and make shots, get to his spots, and take control of the game, it's big. It speaks a lot to the experience he has, and I'm not going to lie. I'm just effing happy he's on our team. Because he's a playmaker. They've been looking for somebody in that 5th spot, as I said. He's sort of like that point guard on the 2nd unit, but if he comes into the starting unit, like if he closes games, he's always going to be on the bench. He's always going to come off the bench. But if he closes games, I think, along with their big 4 of Giannis, Drew, Brook, and Middleton, that would be their best 5. I started to think, okay, hold on. Brogdon used to be on that team, but that was pre-Drew, so that doesn't count. When they won the championship, it was P.J. Tucker in the playoffs. Dante DiVincenzo started all year before he got hurt, and Tucker took his spot. Could have been him. Bobby Portis had one big game and played pretty well in the postseason. Now they're trying Grayson Allen and Wesley Matthews. So they're looking for a guy, not to be an incredible player, but just to set guys up, to find everyone, as Joe Ingles did in that Wolves game, 10 assists, just zipping it all over the place. That's what he can do. And dare I say, he looked athletic, slightly athletic. He was running pick and rolls as a 35-year-old, burying shots from deep beyond three-point line, and not just stepping into them, but also the sidestep 3. Joe Ingles. You don't think of him as a sidestep 3, and they're going to continue to bring him off the bench to be their 2nd unit point guard, and to also preserve his minutes, because he is 35. He is still coming off an injury, and I think it's important to have that guy right now, because Chris Middleton hasn't played in 7 consecutive games, and he wasn't there in the postseason last year. He came back after a while this year, and now he's out 7 straight games. The Bucks did snap a 4-game losing streak in that game against the Wolves, which we'll get to a little bit later. And I know they lost Sunday without Giannis and Drew and Middleton again, so that's fine. And the Nets have overtaken them for the 2nd spot. But I think they've specifically looked for a guy here in Joe Ingles in the offseason. I know no one really cared about this signing because he was hurt, and also because he's 35, and also because he's Joe Ingles. But I think he would be the best addition to that unit since they won the championship, really. If he can be that type of guy. He came back and had a dud on Sunday. But he's got to be playing with Giannis and setting guys up. But he's a playmaker. They've been desperately looking for a guy that can just set things up. And Joe can do that if he's healthy. So we'll see.
All right, so the Bucks getting a winner of the weekend. Love. Despite the loss there yesterday. Which was
yesterday.
Pretty brutal. They got spanked by the hot Zards.
The Zards
The classic
have fun.
Wizards on
5
there.
straight, baby.
5 straight. Going up the standings.
It's amazing.
Contender?
No. We won't include the Wizards in the discussion. But we are including the Grizzlies as one of those teams. That's my winner of the weekend. After losing on Christmas Day, then losing to the Suns after that, you're like, oh, well, that's not good. They won 3 straight against the Raptors. Okay, that's not a big deal. The Pelicans, that's nice when you're fighting with them in terms of sort of seeding there. And then the Kings, obviously a very good team. Grizzlies have improved to 23-13, and they're just a game back from the number 1 Nuggets. They have the second best defense in the league. They have the 4th best net rating. And they just their identity is obviously Ja Morant driven, but it's that defensive backbone with their bigs and Jaren Jackson Jr. and then Adams dominating the glass. I mean, this is the best offensive rebound. One of the best just rebounding teams in the league. 49 per game, and a lot on the offensive side of things. And that was Steven Adams last night versus the Kings. 23 boards for the Kiwi, 13 on the offensive end. And then Jaren Jackson Jr., he picked up another 3 blocks. He had 6 the game before. That guy, he's gonna have an interesting defensive player of the year case because he missed so much time. Holy crap, is he on the short list of just guys that impact inside. You watch the Kings game, there were times where they were terrified. They were like, where is he? And were rushing shots or turning down shots because they thought Jaren Jackson Jr. is coming over from the weak side to wreak havoc. He's averaging 3.2 blocks per game. Again, missed a good chunk of time, but in 20 games, that's really impressive in today's game. So it was just a good win. Ja Morant set the tone very early. He was like, I am going to nobody can stay in front of me on this Kings team, and I'm going to attack. And he was living at the line early, getting them in foul trouble and stuff like that. Finished with 35. And Tyus Jones, amazing off the bench because no Bane, no Brandon Clark for the Grizzlies in that game in the back-to-back situation here. Tyus with 18, 8, and 6, and he hit a couple threes that sort of broke open the game a little bit, gave him some breathing room. And that guy's just steady as a rock as a backup point guard. Comes in, gets you some assists, plays hard enough defense, can hit the 3, and never turns the ball over. Ever. He never hurts you that way. So he's just a great backup point guard. So good win there from the Grizzlies. And nice little run here, those 3 straight over the Raps. Pels and Kings.
Stinks for Domantas Sabonis in that game to go up against Steven Adams, the boarding machine, with a broken thumb. Sabonis is playing with a broken thumb, and you got to deal with Steven Adams, who's shoving people around. You even saw some little lefty bank shots from Steven Adams in this one because he's just a lot to deal with. It's back-to-back games with 20 boards for that dude.
Yeah.
And, he hasn't turned 30 yet, right?
No, that was going around during the Christmas break.
Yeah.
He was 29. Everyone's like, what?
Yeah, he's the old guy on this team, but he's got the legs, I guess, is what I'm getting at, that he's not 30. You feel, obviously, because of the beard, that he's an old man. But, yeah, Sabonis is fighting for this Kings team. He should be sitting. He should be sitting for 4 to 6 weeks or whatever it is. But he's playing with the broken thumb. But he would literally have to sit out a month to heal this thumb. But the Kings want to stay in this thing, and he wants to try and take the Kings to the promised land as they sit 19-16. And every game that he's in, because he is so steady out there, they got a shot. And if he wasn't in there, then they wouldn't have a shot. Yeah. But he's working hard. Yeah, and the Grizzlies, same sort of thing. They just keep coming at you with bodies. You got David Roddy, who I think is my new NBA archetype. Watching him out there, undersized, but plays a big man game. They just keep throwing dudes at you. And Tyus Jones, David Roddy, matching the Kings off the bench because Malik Monk was doing a lot for the Kings last night.
He was. They didn't think he was even going to play, so he was also going through injury, and he played great. It was a close game. The Kings played well, and then the Grizzlies, like they did against the Pelicans, fourth quarter sort of took over and ran away through the victory. So they've been playing really, really well here.
They wear on you. That's the big thing, and it's a lot Steven Adams and it's a lot Jaren Jackson Jr. They're just such a good pair because they got a strong guy and they got an athletic guy. So Adams takes the bumps, and then Jaren Jackson Jr. comes over the top. It's not a coincidence that they're now up to second in defense, basically since Triple J came back. He's missed 16 games so far. If he's able to stay healthy the rest of the season, that's a minuscule number. He'll win Defensive Player of the Year if it goes on like that. They were so good against Zion Williamson, though, in the win the other day. 6 of 16 shooting for Zion, 37% from the field. Dylan Brooks just all up in his face, harassing him, getting away with fouls, which you're allowed to do against a bigger guy like that. If he would get past Dylan Brooks, Steven Adams is waiting right there. He's 7 feet tall. And then Jaren Jackson Jr. is right behind him. That's how you defend Zion. The Grizzlies and kind of the Bucks are the only 2 teams that have enough big guys who are also athletic enough to move, who can hang against him. Those are a couple of teams, certainly, that the Pelicans could run into come playoff time, which will be interesting to see.
All right, Tass, who you got for another win of the weekend?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I want to talk about the reigning champs, the Warriors. They're 5-3 since Curry went down. So they've played solid. They've handled it well. They're above 500. They get Wiggins back tonight, Monday night, as we record here after missing 13 games, most likely. And they started an 8-game homestand with 4 straight wins here. And then to finish out the homestand, they got the Hawks, who their coach has been reportedly ready to quit this season. And Nate McMillan, Shams Charania, the report from The Athletic, that Nate McMillan may want to quit. Anyways.
He denied it.
Yeah.
They said, I'm not quitting. You'll have to fire me.
Doesn't like the new age of these kids. Anyways, I don't think the Hawks are beating the Warriors. Then you got the Pistons and Magic, 2 of the worst teams in the Eastern Conference, and then the Suns, who don't have Devin Booker right now. Yeah. So they're hoping for a 7-1 homestand at the very least, and they've been getting great performances from Poole, who's filling in for Curry. His last 5, 43, 32, 24, 26, and 41 in the most recent game for the Warriors versus the Blazers on Friday. And they've got Dante DiVincenzo starting and fitting in pretty well with his new team. He is giving them guard defense. That's pretty badly needed on this Warriors team. Friday versus the Blazers, 40 seconds left. It was Dame time. DiVincenzo guarding Dame on the perimeter. Dame looking for his shot. They're down 2, and DiVincenzo just strips them clean. Very clean, and so they're pumped to have him. And then they go the other way, pick and pop for him. He hits a huge 3, 38% from 3 this season for Dante DiVincenzo. So the bench getting performances. They're starting now, but they will be on the bench from him and Poole, and then Jonathan Kuminga, who's they're relying on to finish games. He's looking more and more like the Andre Iguodala replacement, a guy who can do a bunch and play great D. And they called on him to play great D against Jeremy Grant and Anthony Simons on Friday. Had a run-out dunk, 6 helpers, and he was a big part of the 16-2 run to end this game. So options for Kerr off the bench. DiVincenzo, Poole, and obviously Jonathan Kuminga. They have the best starting 5 that's played at least 100 minutes together. Still, with when Wiggies comes back, along with Draymond Green, Kerr, Clay, and Kevon Looney. They're beating opponents by 24 points per possession. So that's why, even though they are still down in the standings, they should be amongst the possibilities of teams that could come out of the Western Conference. They're sitting in 9th right now at 19 and 18. They should climb the standings, and they're in a fairly good position for how they've dealt with Steph Curry. So things are clicking. Things are clicking for them.
Trey, who else you got?
Any winners list wouldn't be complete without a Luka Doncic. Am I right?
Yeah.
Followed up 60, 21, and 10 with a complete dud. 35, 12, and 13. Finally came through with another classic over the weekend, though. 51 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, in a hilarious win against the Spurs. Last 5 games for Luka, 45 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists per game. The third 50-point outing he's had in his past 5 games. First player in NBA history with 250 points, 50 rebounds, and 50 assists over a 5-game span. You talk about a cherry-pick stat. That's a nice one with all of the round numbers there.
Yeah, that's great.
A 250, 50, and 50 over 5 games. That's nice. He's already got more 50-point games than Shaq, Wade, Hakeem, Dirk, Gilbert Arenas, Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing, Vince Carter, Jimmy Butler. They didn't let guys score 50 points a game back then, but he's just doing it every single night. It's basically pick your poison at this point. If you double team Luka, he's going to have 10 or more assists in a game because the Mavericks are shooting the ball okay right now. If you're like the Knicks and the Spurs, you want to switch, try and let Luka beat you, he's going to beat you, and he's going to score 50 or more points doing it. All of these games have been Mavs wins. Their streak is at 6 straight wins right now. When this streak started for Luka and the Mavs, they were under 500 in 10th place. They're up to 4th right now. MVP race, it's absurd at this point because Luka, he could finish 3rd. He could easily finish 3rd, and he's putting up incredible numbers that we haven't seen basically since James Harden, January 2019, when he averaged 43, 8, and 7 over the course of 14 games. Luka has become James Harden with higher assist numbers on a night-to-night basis, but that ending to Mavs Spurs was hilarious. Just an intentional missed free throw fest.
Yeah.
Spurs up 3, 4 seconds left in the ball. Frank Ntilikina fouls Trey Jones to send him to the line to shoot 2. 2 is not more than 3. Smart move. Trey Jones makes the first. Great intentional miss on the second. Fouled by Bertans on his own rebound. And he makes the first free throw. Unintentionally misses the second free throw. Luka grabs the rebound. He's fouled. An unintentional miss followed by, yet again, another intentional miss. Intentional misses are huge.
I know. They're starting to master it.
Exactly. It's getting pretty impressive. Skeet, you're always talking about you want to see the glass cyst catch on.
Yeah.
Players are practicing this.
Yeah.
Players are getting better at missed free throws, but just great stuff from Luka. I don't know. You just tune in. You're going to see something awesome from him every single night. So, yeah, I got them as a finals contender because the guy could score 60 and have 20 assists in a playoff game.
I think they have to be included just because of him. I mean, and they're like, the crazy part with this run, this like winning streak they're on, like they're not blowing teams out for the most part. Like they're needing Luka to go for these 50-point games.
They have keep scores close on. I think that's the only thing. Like, yeah, you play a Madden, you play an NBA 2K, keep scores close. Anytime, like, the Mavs take a huge lead, guaranteed the other team is coming back. If the other team takes a huge lead, you know the Mavericks are coming back. They can only play one-possession games, basically.
NBA Jam rubber band effect there
that's right.
On these Mavs games. Do you want some trivia based off these, like, insane sort of scoring numbers we saw over December? This is from Statitudes. It's a good one. There were 45 40-point games in December. 45. Brand new record for most 40-point games in a month by quite a bit. 12 players had multiple 40-point games in the month. Can you gentlemen name them?
The 12 players.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic.
Luka did 3 times in the month, yes.
Embiid.
Embiid did 3 times.
Jokic.
He did 4 times.
Giannis.
He did 5 times.
DeRozan?
DeRozan did...
at least
No,
one.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he did.
But, I mean, say somebody else that you are a
Levine?
fan of. Yeah, Zach
I
Levine
guess
did it
he did
twice.
have 2
Yeah.
40s. Yeah, he had one.
Okay, so you got...
How many we got?
You named, what, 5 there?
Jason Tatum?
3 times.
Nice one. Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
Kevin Durant did not.
Oh,
No, weird.
Slow down that guy.
Yeah. He just averages a cool probably 35.
Did Pascal have more than one?
No.
Lillard? What's he said?
No,
No, he
not
was
Lillard.
not said.
Former teammate of his.
CJ McCollum?
CJ McCollum
CJ's
did
hot
it twice.
right now. He's hot.
2 guys that are currently injured, so tough to remember that these guys did it earlier in the month.
Curry?
Not Curry.
Now I'm thinking injured guys.
Devin Booker?
Devin Booker did it
Devin.
twice. Another guy that's currently injured. Must have done it very, very early.
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis. There you go. You have only 3 more guys left.
Trey Young?
No.
Morant?
No. A guy with a last name M. Other conference.
What? Wait, say this?
Last name M. Other conference.
Starts with
He's
an
gonna
M.
probably start the All-Star game. Probably. Guard.
Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, I didn't
And
think he had
then
2
2 more
40s.
guys, Western Conference guards. One will likely be an All-Star. He's having like the best year. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Classic.
And then the final guy, you were just talking about this team as one of your winners, Tass. And
Jordan Poole.
Jordan
yeah.
Poole.
JP.
12 guys.
a lot of
Giannis, the Joker, Luka, Embiid, Tatum, Booker, AD, SGA, Zach Levine, CJ McCollum, Donovan Mitchell, Jordan Poole. Again, multiple 40-point games in the month. That's wild. 40-point games is like it's turning into not that big a deal, unfortunately.
I heard
We gotta bump it up to 50.
on the Celtics broadcast last night, I guess this streak was broken, but they were saying that before last night, the 10 previous days there were games, somebody scored 40 or
heard
more
that too,
points.
yeah.
It's too easy to score. It's honestly too easy to score. I'm going to start getting into defense right now. JK. I love to see it. I actually think Jordan Poole is playing differently since Steph Curry went down. He seems to be a lot more in control. He's just not going at 100 miles an hour and trying to do all these crossovers. It honestly feels to me like he's in his head a little bit, trying not to get called for carries and travels and keeping his hand a little bit more on top of the ball than underneath the ball. But he played incredibly well. And he has stepped up when the Warriors needed him most because they've got a lot of injuries here. Wiggins hasn't played in a month. So it's like we got all these guys who are having nice little step-up seasons. It'll be even better when they're back in their roles.
Yeah, for sure.
One of my break conversations I had, as you said, everybody wants to talk about basketball with the basketball guys, was LeBron James eventually going to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, be the all-time leading scorer very, very soon. And because there's so much point inflation going on, I thought, there's got to be somebody at least in the ballpark of LeBron's first 4, 5, 6, 10 years, whatever it is, thinking somebody like Luka, that they would be on pace. Would anybody ever catch LeBron James? Considering that the three-point shot is more prevalent, considering LeBron didn't take up a ton of them,
like
even
like
Luka,
Devin Booker or Luka.
Yeah, but you know what hurt guys who were chasing LeBron? Pandemic. You killed some games there in a couple of years. So Luka's well behind, actually. Surprisingly, I know LeBron came out hot, even as more as a second-year player. He kind of had his actually. Luka pretty close to him in his first year, but then LeBron kind of ran away the next few years. Got to blame the pandemic. Pandemic changed everything. Oh, well. Could have been Luka's. Could have been Luka's title, perhaps, if you play 20 seasons and are healthy for the majority of those.
Will we still be podcasting about the NBA when or if somebody passes LeBron James?
Nah.
For most points scored in the regular season.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I vote yes.
You guys have to bet on it.
So see, my angle is we won't be podcasting forever. But what's your angle? More that
Luka is gonna make a run for it.
Make a run.
Yeah,
but that's like 15 years we're talking about here.
Yeah, too many.
Yeah.
I just don't think we'll be sitting here
Who knows?
in 15
Who
years.
knows?
I think he's behind literally 12 to 1,400 after the first 4 years of his career. If I'm doing some quick math,
Wow.
36, 53. Anyways.
A couple other winners. Just slip them in here. We have to say the Nets are a winner of the weekend. They're on an 11-game win streak. I think we can talk about them a lot more on tomorrow's show. They play the Spurs tonight. They're going to very likely push that win streak to 12, and we can get into them having right now won 15 of their last 16. Is it 16 of their last 17 after tonight? The way Katie and Kyrie are playing, how there is no drama currently around this team. Ben Simmons contributing despite never hitting a free throw. It's amazing. So we'll get into the Nets probably on tomorrow's show. But Tyrese Haliburton, also a winner of the weekend. He is continuing to make his case that I don't think he's going to start because I don't think he's going to get the votes. But he should be selected as an all-star selection by the coaches when we get to that eventually. 24, 10, and 7, 4 steals without a turnover when in the Pacers win against the Clippers, who had Kawhi, who had Paul George going off for 45, in his old barn there. And he just closed the game. Haliburton went nuts at the end. Scored 18 in the fourth. I think he had 14 straight down the stretch. This is his third time he's recorded a 20-point, 10-assist game with 0 turnovers this season. No other player has produced more than one game. It's just amazing. And his shooting splits are if you round them up a little bit, 49, 41, and 88. So the efficiency through the roof as a 21 and 10 guy. So I'm just blown away that him being the age he is, leading this Pacers team to a very surprising record. Especially one surrounded with all the rumors of, we trading Buddy, we trading, Miles Turner and all that. He has a higher PER, Tyrese Haliburton, than guys like Siakam and LeBron and John Morant and Mitchell. I mean, he's in that level right now. So, just a little love to him.
Yeah, everything runs through him on that team.
Yeah.
And when watching him against the Clippers on Saturday, you think as he enters the lane, he jumps up and he has 4 guys he's thinking about passing to. You'd think that would bite him in the ass every time he's in the air, but he finds a way. Yeah. He finds a way to either loft it over somebody or hit somebody, and that's why it's so fun to play with him, I'm sure. And I wonder if he starts. I know it's kind of far-fetched with the dumb formula is 50% for fans, 25% players, 25% media vote. Right. Donovan Mitchell's likely going to start, and I imagine...
And then it's Jaylen Brown. I think it's Jaylen Brown or Tyrese Haliburton for that second slot. I guess Trae Young shouldn't be starting.
I guess Jaylen Brown's a guard, but who knows when it comes to this.
I believe he is on the ballot because you can get your votes in. You had a triple voting day.
They had
Triples
Marcus
are best.
Smart and Derek White starting at guard. If you want to get technical about it, every single game. Triple vote for...
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that on the NBA app.
Good.
Didn't do it.
Oh.
I saw it. I saw it in the NBA stories. I love the NBA stories.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, Tyrese Haliburton.
See, because Trae's not getting... I don't think Trae Young is going to be voted by the players / media.
I don't think
they're going to be docked. He's going to be docked, even if he gets a ton of fan votes. So, yeah, it's Jaylen Brown.
It's a tough look here for Haliburton on the East guard list. He's on the 4th row. He's behind a Tyrese Maxey. He's behind a Tyler Hero. That's a problem.
Yeah, like he's
too hard to
guys,
find on the
we're
list.
gonna get the first release here probably soon. I don't know, maybe end of the week or something. Like he's gonna be
It's
hundreds of
It'll be
thousands
good if
behind
he's top
Kyrie.
10.
Like
It'll
he's
be
gonna
impressive if he's top 10,
Yes,
honestly.
that's exactly
That's
right.
it's a fair point. So that hurts even if he's 10th when they do the formula. That
Even if the media and the
because
coaches
it hurts that if he's dropped that low. Yeah, but
he's
still,
going to
he
be
will
selected. He's going to be selected. And that's
he
probably
better
right.
be.
He should be, for sure. All right, that's a lot of winners of the weekend. My God. Let's take our first break. When we come back, losers of the NBA weekend.
New year, new goals, and Factor is back in the Classic Factory to help you achieve each and every one of them. The goals. That's what you're achieving. With
Right.
Factor, you can save time and have the energy you need to tackle everything on your to-do list with ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. With Factor, not only can you skip the trip to the grocery store, but you can also skip the chopping, prepping, and cleaning up too. If you gave up chopping, prepping, and cleaning for New Year's, A, that's twisted. But B, it's also perfect because Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes. So all you have to do is heat and enjoy. With 34 chef-prepared, dietitian-approved weekly options, there's always something new to try. No matter what your lifestyle, Factor has the meals to help you live it to the fullest with keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, and protein plus meals on the menu each week. Plus, you can round out your meal and replenish your snack supply with an assortment of 36 plus quick bites, smoothies, juices, and more satisfying add-ons. Get America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit and start saving time, eating well, and living your best year ever. Head to factor75.com/nodunk60. Use code NODUNK60 to get 60% off your first box. That's code NODUNK60 at factor75.com/nodunk60 to get 60% off your first box.
You didn't give up numbers for
no,
New
no,
Year's.
no, no.
A lot of numbers.
he loves numbers.
Numbers.
New year, new you. We've heard it before. We just heard it in your ad read. No, but we've heard this before, right? Like, this is the year I'm going to get into the gym. Or this is the year I'm going to get into the pool, start swimming again. Or this is the year I'm going to try parkour. No, you're not. You're not doing parkour. You can barely walk. You ain't jumping from a metal railing to a cement block, right? You can't do that.
You can't do that.
You can't.
You cannot do that.
My point is, it's hard to stick with fitness goals after that initial burst of motivation when you get into the new year there. I read that 1 out of 4 people quit their New Year's resolution within the first week.
I believe it.
Not month, not half a year. First week, 1 out of 4 like, nah, so much for that New Year's resolution. It's tough, because if it wasn't, you'd already be doing it, right? But I'm gonna tell you what can help. Your chances of seeing those fitness resolutions through until success. Peloton, baby! Now everyone knows Peloton makes bikes, but there's so much more than that. They also make treadmills, and they have tons of classes. Yoga, strength training, HIIT,
Oh, high intensity interval training?
boxing, they got it all. Peloton instructors have a variety of different training backgrounds and styles of motivation that work for people of all fitness levels. They can get you moving, whether that's a 10-minute power walk or a 30-minute endurance ride. My favorite part, work out when it works for you, right? Peloton offers thousands of on-demand classes available 24/7. That means you can work out whenever and wherever it's convenient for you. And hey, are you a Grant Hill? Do you like music?
I do like music.
Yeah, good, because nothing gets you moving like the perfect song. Peloton has the best playlists, whether you're looking for EDM, 90s pop, something soulful maybe. Peloton has music to fit your mood. I've said that before. I like slow jams to run to. You would think you need like that high, energetic music, but no, find a groove.
That's when you stop. When it's too fast and you
Yeah.
burst out of the gate and then
get
you're
a
dead.
nice groove going. Get
Yeah.
your rhythm going. You don't have to be a super athlete to enjoy Peloton because there are classes for every level. Whether you exercise daily or you're new to working out, Peloton can help you achieve your fitness goals. So try Peloton risk-free with a 30-day home trial. That's for new members only. It's not available in remote locations. So what you gotta do is move your family to an urban area and then get working out. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial. Onepeloton.com/home-trial. All right. Boys, still here in the Classic Factory. Loving talking hoops with you guys again, face to face. Seeing you. Seeing your new shirts. Seeing your beautiful.
That's right.
Yeah.
My shirt is not new.
Well, I really like seeing you where you're not like freezing on me or something like that. It was rough for a couple days, but then we got it going.
I live in a remote area. That's what happens.
Yeah, ironically, you have a Peloton treadmill, don't you?
Yeah, that's true. I was on it today.
Wow, look at you, morning.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Not much.
Like, did you do a class or did you just do manual?
No.
Okay.
Got the miles in.
Good for you.
Started a plan again.
What do you got? You got something circled, like a race?
Half.
There you go.
Yeah.
Half circle.
When are we talking?
The left side. Left side of the circle.
When are we talking? What month?
March.
Oh, nice. You
gotta go.
3 months.
Gotta
good.
start running.
All right. You want to start right now?
Yeah, gotta go.
Okay, let's get to losers of the NBA weekend. Trey, get us started.
Oh, tough weekend for the Utah Jazz. 2 losses by a total of 4 points. That sucks.
That does.
That really sucks. Both really fun games, though. Jazz Kings, Friday night. Kevin Huerter, the hero for Sacktown, career-high 30, hit a clutch 3 with 9 seconds left after the Jazz could not grab a defensive rebound to end the possession. They did have another look at it. Lauri Markkanen missed a fadeaway to win things for Utah. Nice game for Domantas Sabonis in that one. 28 points on 12 of 12 shooting. Not bad.
Perfect.
Jazz Heat, Saturday night. Jazz came back from down 5 with 19 seconds left. Tied things up with free throws from Lauri Markkanen with 6 seconds left. But Tyler was the hero.
No, he didn't travel on this one either.
Well, who cares? I mean, who cares? He traveled on the other one. They counted it. 29 for Hero, including the buzzer-beating 3 to win things. And you're right. That's nice. Tyler Hero. Sometimes he travels. Sometimes he doesn't. He always makes it.
Yeah,
But
that was awesome.
It does suck for Utah, but it gets worse, actually. They have 4 straight losses now. 9 total points in these losses.
Wow.
They're under 500 for the first time all season. After a 4-game losing streak, they're down to 10th in the West. I was surprised to see that Utah was under 500 for the entire month of November, under 500 for the entire month of December. Guess the 10th spot is now there for the taking in the Western Conference. Been a fun start to the season for Utah. The defense is honestly just catching up to them now. They can score pretty regularly, but inside it's Olynyk and Markkanen, and that's not much inside. Walker Kessler's doing his part, but the guy's still a rookie, so you can beat the Jazz now. They had a great start to the season, but unfortunately they seem to have settled where it seemed like they were going to be.
Yeah, 500 squad. And it should have been a victory, at least in one of those 2 games there on the weekend. If they grab a rebound against the Kings, they win. 2 offensive rebounds they allowed. So 3 chances, and then Kevin Huerter did it there at the end. And then that Saturday Tyler Hero game winner, that was a wild one because they inbounded after a made basket, after the free throws there, under their own hoop. And Tyler Hero just bounding into that shot, and a defender got a hand on the ball as well as he went up, and so everyone expecting it, and they kicked the Heat's ass in so many categories that night. They had 4 more threes, so not just the lazy analysis. Oh, they had more threes. They should have won. They also had 14 more free throw attempts. They also had something else here. Something else I remember. 12 more rebounds.
There you go.
I mean, they kicked their ass, but somehow the Heat came away with that victory. Yeah, the Jazz, heartbreaking. Yeah, 4 straight losses there. Combined 13 points is what I have in my notes there. 9 the last 3, 13 the last 4. It's just, they're close games, man. They have a slim margin of victory and a slim margin for losing. Markkanen's still balling, and he caught a body there on that Friday. Woo! Balling for
Do you
13
think
points. I shouldn't have given up numbers for New Year's. Unfortunately, you're
damn.
totally right. You're totally right. man.
numerology?
Do you think? Yeah, what are you, a Kyrie with all your numbers? Do you think this will change what the Jazz do here as we get a little closer to the trade deadline? And I mean that by like sort of falling down the standings a little bit, like falling into like a sub 500 team for now at least. More likely to move Kelly Olynyk, maybe even Conley. Move one of the quote unquote vet pieces for younger talent, picks, stuff like that. Do you think it changes that equation at all for that front office?
A little bit. I don't say a lot, but a tiny bit.
Right.
I think they know that they're not a championship contender.
Right.
The guys, I would say it's Conley, mainly. The oldies. KO, Kelly Olynyk, maybe, I don't know. I think they like him. I think they like having him
You guys
around.
always bring up Kelly Olynyk as a trade target every single year.
Yeah.
He's not. He's not really. I mean, he could help for like a second-round pick, but I think Malik Beasley is the guy that teams should really be looking at. He's one of the better volume three-point shooters in the league so far this year, and he's not going to be a long-term piece, I don't think, for the Jazz. Who knows if their backcourt of the future is here. He's probably not a wing of the future for them either, so a guy like Conley certainly has got to be looked at. Beasley, though, I think has got to be desired around the league, so I don't think it changes much for the Jazz. I think they just had a surprisingly great first half of the season.
I would like to give a loser of the weekend to a team that traded with the Jazz, a very big trade over the summer, the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are 16-21, and they've lost 6 straight, and they probably hit rock bottom. Maybe not with the Wolves. It could get worse. But on Saturday night, Detroit erased a double-digit deficit, and the Pistons bench, it was basically their bench, beat the Wolves. 65 points from the bench. In fact, a Pistons starter didn't even make a field goal in the fourth quarter as Detroit beat Minnesota. That's how bad it was. They got the 116-104 victory. The Wolves got crushed on the boards. Pistons dominated second chance points in transition as well. And, yeah, here they are. Now, no Cat for a good amount of time here. You know, Prince has missed time. I get it. There's injuries. But this is like, they have no fight. And they're starting to let go of the rope here. And even when you see, like, you know, Russell's had big fourth quarters and Anthony Edwards had good games, but they fall into, like, this, like, all right, you take it, and I'll just chill. All right, now I guess you'll take it this one, and I'll just chill. It's like, not a lot of cohesionness between this team. And then Rudy Gobert, the
That's
slander.
funny. You said cohesionness,
Yeah,
and you cohesive a few things there.
They got all stuck together.
It's the Rudy Gobert slander is just like, I mean, it's peak levels right now. Because when he plays, they don't win, and when he doesn't play, they're actually not that bad. And they obviously traded the farm for him.
They could use Malik Beasley coming off the bench.
They could have used all the guys they traded
Fair.
to the Utah Jazz to get Rudy Gobert. Because it's just they don't have like a lot of heart to them. So is that the Beverly piece of it all? Like the leadership doesn't seem to be there. Naz Reid is saying they had like player meetings and like giving cryptic answers. Like, well, what happened? What did you talk about? Like, oh, we know.
We know. Problem.
We know. Like, what's he alluding to? Like, is it Gobert? Is it Russell? Is it Finch? Is it
Edwards?
Yeah, like, I mean, we don't know. So we can just
To
name
me,
four guys.
Naz Reid is the leader of the Timberwolves. He's like the
Right.
biggest emotional presence out there, and he's the third center on this team. So that's a problem, but he plays harder than anybody else, and if he's the guy that's calling everybody out, probably doesn't have quite the same impact if it's one of your best players or a guy like Patrick Beverly who has 10 plus years of experience being the lightning rod for a team. So yeah, this I don't know. We thought maybe with Towns going out there would be less for Edwards to complain about with regards to spacing. He went on a little bit of a run certainly, but it's like he's not a reliable guy to get everybody on the same page going forward. This season, it doesn't seem like, in D'Angelo Russell, like, his minute-to-minute effort disappears here and there, here and there. So, yeah, they're probably going to try and blame all the problems on Rudy Gobert, but I think it's a top-to-bottom thing, kind of.
It's ugly. And Rudy commented about it on Twitter, a comment towards him basically saying, it's over. Just you know, cut the cord. And he said, we'll see. And then he comes out and isn't able to lead against the Pistons. I know he was out for the Bucks game on Friday. But it is the same story. He isn't looked at as an offensive option. They don't search for him whatsoever. And, yeah, the defense is obviously lacking. And the cohesionness is definitely lacking. They just don't.
Yeah.
They don't fight for each other. That's absolutely the case. And, yeah, it's 16-21, and they're a fine team at home, but then they're pretty bad on the road.
Well, and I remember when Curry got injured, and there was like, oh, are the Warriors going to be able to sort of hold on here, like in terms of where they are in the standings? We said here on the podcast, like, the Lakers and the Wolves, they got to pounce here now while Curry is out, thinking, you know, they might struggle a little bit more and you know, have a little rough patch of their season with missing their star player. But, like, that's with the Wolves. I mean, really, the Lakers, too, despite LeBron going off on his birthday and stuff like that. Like, the Wolves have not taken advantage at all. It's like the complete opposite. They've blown it, I think, here. I think they're going to have to do something. Like, they're going to have to shake this up.
What?
Well,
They don't have anything they can trade anymore.
I know they'll have to be trading. I mean, you
Russell,
can't
if
trade
anybody's
Cat
interested.
until the summer, and it have to be Russell. Yeah, unless they just like or fire Finch, but I don't think that's happening by all accounts. Like he was in on the building of this team and going for the Gobert trade and stuff like that. I don't know.
Would the Wolves rather have right now? Forget about the draft picks they traded. Would they rather have Beverly, Beasley, Walker Kessler, and Jared Vanderbilt rather than Rudy Gobert?
I think the way he's played this season, I think the answer is absolutely yes.
The players would certainly rather have them.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, and then you're right. That's not even including the
Struggling.
picks, because they can. Oh my God, it's bad. It's bad. And when you're losing, like Bogdanovich was great, but I can't believe the Pistons starters didn't score in the fourth quarter and they got crushed, just embarrassed.
Yeah, and they have been scrapping, and I was talking about the Warriors homestand here and how they have the Pistons coming up, they have the Magic coming up, and those should be wins, but the Pistons aren't a team you can just roll over right now. Those guys are playing hard off the bench, and they had 5 guys in double digits off the bench. So that's impressive for a team that you think is shallow compared to the Wolves, who are supposed to be top heavy and don't execute.
No,
They're not producing. Those dudes aren't producing. Rudy should be producing more. Especially on both ends. It's not even just the offensive end that I mentioned. I mean, he should be leading a good defense.
Yeah. Who else you got for loser of the week?
Well, me.
What?
Because I'm all out of eggnog. So, JD, can we roll my pre-produced home video?
It's a sad day.
That's
That's the end of it. But it's been a good run. A real good run for this eggnog. Cheers to you, Mark G. I've been searching for a fresh eggnog, and I made it at home because of you. Gonna miss it.
That's it. My eggnog is done. I had been looking for a... What? You don't like this eggnog? There's some good... There's some good... There's some... Why are you so down
I have a
in the
theory
dumps?
that because you do worst of the week at the end of the week and do a fantastic job on the Drop podcast with that you don't like to give a worst of the weekend at the start of the week.
Sure.
So you just give it to yourself running out of eggnog. That you made that eggnog, you said, yeah.
I did, yeah. I had been looking again for a fresh eggnog here from a fresh farm from a farm here in Georgia because I did have it back in Canada. I got it from a local Hewitt's, a local farm in Canada. It was so good, and Mark G, fan of ours, sent in mail. To our P.O. box. You can find the P.O. box address if you want to send us some. So he didn't send in the eggnog. He actually sent in a card with the recipe. Now, I made a half batch because as we went through, it was a dozen eggs and other ingredients. I thought, I ain't getting through a dozen eggs worth of eggnog. But I probably would have.
I guess so.
Because it was good. Although, as you said while we were watching the video, it was thick.
That was thick. I see
yellow.
Vaz here in the stream scene says, that's some hollandaise sauce, Chug.
Yeah.
That was a thick nog.
Yeah. And
Coats the bottle. Look at that.
Yeah, it was viscous, but that ain't on Mark G. That was on me. That was I think we did talk about it briefly during our holiday shows, our hollandaise shows.
Oh God!
The best
Hollandaise Chug.
Yeah. I did not cook it properly. I cooked it a little too much, a little too hot.
Okay.
It was a little too hot.
So that's on you.
That's on Danielle. She was beside me. She was beside me as I was cooking it. She was cooking something else. I'd taken it out of the pan, and she said, "No, put it back in." And I said, "Why?" I cooked it to temperature. I put in the thermometer.
Oh,
and
wow.
she said, "Nah, I think it's a little not done enough." Anyways, I poured it out, and as you see, it was more of a custard, more of
Nice, yeah.
a bechamel almost. But anyways,
So when
it was good.
when are you drinking that? Like
When
what
the
time?
bourbon flows, my man.
Oh, you are putting some.
Sometimes yes,
liquor in.
sometimes no.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Just a sip here, sip there. We had
Nip
2
of the
weeks.
nog.
I mean, I didn't have.
I just was more curious of what time of the day are you drinking a nog? I mean, at night if you're having some bourbon in it, I assume. But yeah, I was like
Midday.
You took it down this morning.
All for a
is king.
shoot.
Yeah. But
How do you know that was this morning? Because I had the same shirt on.
shirt on.
That's right. Yeah, no, it was just I finished it off. Okay. I mean, yeah, I wasn't drinking eggnog in the morning.
Okay, yeah.
But all for content.
You gotta make another batch?
Next year.
Next year?
It's season.
Telling you.
Well, this year.
Nog
2023.
has a
Next
2-week
holiday
window,
season.
man.
It
That's
is good. No, it's good.
Still cold out.
It is still cold out-ish.
Winter's over here, man. It's great.
Wait, we'll come back.
It's a dessert drink, no doubt. When you start cooking it, you know what goes in there. Didn't realize all the sweetness that's in there.
Could you use eggnog in cereal?
Nah,
No?
but nice transition.
Your cereal is-
Corn pops?
I think you could try it, and you're right. Let's take our final break here. That was a great transition to my man, Tassie. We'll be back, though, with pick'em results and a tweet of the night.
It's that time of year. Got to be a little carb conscious. We want to keep the pounds off. You know how you do that? Have fun while doing it. You got to start your day off with Magic Spoon, a cereal that's good for the low-carb lifestyle while still feeling like a kid. Magic Spoon has replicated our favorite childhood cereals, but each serving contains 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and 4 to 5 net grams of carbs. Feeling like a kid is also on everyone's resolution list. I see them going on Instagram. Act like a kid again and feel like a kid again. Well, Magic Spoon, they got you. How about flavors like cocoa, fruity, frosted, blueberry muffin, maple waffle, honey nut, cookies and cream, cinnamon roll, and my fave, peanut butter. Like a kid, you won't get bored with so many unique flavors. It's a keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, and soy-free way to relive those moments while watching your favorite cartoons. Did anybody watch cartoons over the holidays break?
Certainly.
No.
Which one?
My Little Pony.
New ones
theme
or
song.
classics? I mean, do they make new ones? I guess they do.
Yeah, they're on to the next generation. See you later, Rainbow Dash.
Why? I loved Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash is a classic.
Yeah.
New animation style. They just gotta change it up, you know? Just shake it up.
Anyway, plus, it's only 140 calories per serving. It's like there's magic in every spoonful. I hope My Little Pony doesn't steal that line from Magic Spoon. They could. Head to magicspoon.com/nodunks to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try the magic for yourself. And be sure to use our promo code NODUNKS at checkout to save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/nodunks and use the code NODUNKS to save $5. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode.
So what cartoons were you watching over the holiday break
None.
with your kids? No, you weren't?
No.
Oh.
When they were watching TV, I was getting my own time in.
Getting your noggin.
Nog time.
It's Daddy Nog time.
Yeah, the bourbon just soaks right into the nog. No, honestly, I was like 50% alcohol, 50% not with the eggnog.
yeah.
It was just good.
Yeah.
Eggnog's good.
You like it? You like that?
I like it, and I think everybody else would like it as well. You love eggs.
I do love eggs.
It's eggs
I can't
and
tell you
sugar
that
and
looks
milk. You like milk.
So unappetizing to me. I don't know. It's too thick, I think.
It's just a melted ice cream. Pretty
It's
much.
a custard,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's custard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to
All right.
Frozen
I'm glad
custard,
you like
better
it.
than ice cream.
Glad you like it. Pick 'em results. Well, let's just give you the overall leaderboard. We crunched the numbers. This guy loves numbers. I think Trey did this.
I don't love these numbers.
Oh, you don't?
Jerome screwed me.
It's close here. Yes, Jerome was picking for Trey the week off there when we were doing shows. Trey was in Chicago. He did an all right job, but it's tight. Like, overall, look at this. 2 games separate first and third. Tass 19 and 17. I'm 18 and 18. Even Steven, baby. And Trey right there at 17 and 19. So here we are into a new year, new month. New pick'em battle. What's tonight's game, Tass? There's a lot on.
There's a lot on. I'm sure if you're listening to this after the fact, the Knicks-Suns game may have already happened, but what's the deal with the 3 Eastern in Madison Square Garden on January 2nd? I guess everybody has the day off, so throw it at 3?
I think that's got to be the reasoning. But I had a tweet. It's funny. I don't know if you saw.
Nope.
Why didn't we have more afternoon games?
Oh.
Like during the dead week, as people call it, between Christmas and New Year's.
Oh, I
there should
saw
be
that
more
tweet. I did
afternoon
see that
games.
tweet.
A lot of people agreed with me. It's like people aren't doing anything by like the third day. People are bored. Throw a game on during the day. A lot of people are not at work. That's weird to me.
I
think
agree.
they could have taken advantage of that because now we have one today of all days. So
Yeah.
it's strange.
I would watch it. Saturday, I was watching Clippers Pacers. That was an afternoon
that was an
tilt.
Yep.
What a game that was. And let's hope tonight's game is a good one because I'm looking at the Heat Clippers game thinking it's going to be a good one. The Clippers are favored by 4.5 at home to Tyler Hero Ball and the Miami Heat. Feels like sort of a large line.
Yeah, a little bit.
Heats and I have the Clippers. Trey, you like the Heats.
Yeah, trying to warm it up.
Is this your pick? You're back to picking, I assume.
Yeah, I made this pick here. I was forced into this pick. So I'm just hoping that the Clippers don't play their guys.
Oh, you were
Yeah.
forced
Yeah, that's a
into
forced
this.
pick here.
You want to swap? I got no
No,
problem.
actually, I appreciate the line here. I appreciate
Yeah.
4.5 points of playtime.
For sure.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the Clippers smack teams, but anyway, we'll see.
We'll see
what this Clippers.
That one is on at night, you said.
It's a 90.
Suns Knicks, the only day game today. 3 o'clock.
Yes, I do like picking the late games. If you want to get into the behind the picks here.
Why?
Why? Because more people will have some care for this game. Because more people, if you're listening to the podcast,
Oh, I see.
you might have be listening while games are on, which is kind of weird, I guess, when you think about it. But the later the better, I'd say, because this is kind of a throwaway segment at times. I mean, you know it, I know it, everybody out there knows it. We're not even paying off the pickoffs.
I thought we flipped it, right? I thought the winner now got something, but
But we're not doing that either.
yeah. no.
Second
Anyways.
place guy gets.
Oh, second place guy. You want to
Yeah.
finish?
You want to finish right in the middle.
We should
don't win,
yeah.
don't lose.
Whoever can finish closest to 500 wins something. So I'm winning right now. I like that.
Anyways, we need a new C block. Yes, we do.
No, we don't, because look at this.
Listen out there. Okay, you got a good tweet.
Yeah.
Fine. But if you got good suggestions for our C block, I'm all out.
All right.
Let me know.
Tweet of the night ain't going anywhere because I got a banger. Let's do it here. Tweet of the night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Because some of the best tweets of the night have nothing to do with basketball, like this one. This is from @CelebrityHotTub, a very, very funny Twitter follow. Ryan, I believe is his real name. A lot of human behavior is hard to understand, wrote @CelebrityHotTub in the abstract, but thousands of people wait for hours outside in New York City for it to be a certain time is really up there. So @CelebrityHotTub, Ryan referring to New Year's Eve, going down to Times Square to see the ball drop. I believe it was some wet weather this year, cold and wet, and you gotta go if you want to be there in attendance. Like, you have to go so early.
Oh, yeah.
And there's the theory that people are all wearing diapers.
That's what I thought you were getting at.
Yeah.
It's cold and wet.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Yeah. Because, like, you're in these pens, you can't leave if you want to, like, stay in your position. You're not getting back in. Security ain't going to let you back in. So you're wearing an adult diaper to pee and poop yourself just to, like, celebrate time. And I guess, like, it just, like, it clears out right after, of course. It's like, it's a funny concept when you think about it. Like, what? Like, how much would I have to pay you, Tass, to go down there for, let's say you got to be there 6 hours in advance. You got to get down there at
nothing.
6.
You'd
yeah,
pay me
see?
nothing. I'd do it.
For
No,
free.
I
There
would
we
do
go.
I would do it.
You'd strap on your adult diaper and head down to Times Square.
It's fitting that Celebrity Hot Tub tweeted it because it's kind of like you're in a hot tub. Just go. Just go.
Gross.
Yeah,
Okay.
very gross.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be wearing a diaper. You can't find a bathroom
It's just tough, like,
to lose your
to
spot.
get out. Yeah, like, because you're jammed into these, like, pens, like these areas, and you can't go in and out, like, easy. No.
I'd rather have elbow pads, where my friends would have elbow pads and would be boxing out everybody. You know, you could box out for one person at a time to go pee. I would do it for 6 hours.
Wow. JD, how much would I have to pay you? All right, you're going down at 6 p.m. to celebrate New Year's Eve. It's a little rainy. Are you going task for free? Because you're in.
It's not for free.
No.
$1,000.
$1,000.
Not that much. I mean, I could do it.
It's part of the experience.
Yeah, just to say you've done it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I'd bother with. I don't think I could pee into a diaper. Like, I just don't think I could do
No,
it.
I wouldn't do it. No.
It's been like, what, multiple decades we've gone intentionally trying not to pee our pants.
That's
so
right.
it's hard to just flip the switch.
Yeah.
But also, I can hold it for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
I'm a grown-up.
Forget the
Yeah.
peeing and pooping yourself. The standing out there to see
I
nothing.
I went to the one at Navy Pier in Chicago once.
Yeah.
Great to do it once.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't pee myself.
But you never really wanted to go do it again.
No, one time was perfect.
Yeah, that's good.
You can't have much liquid though.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, you could dehydrate yourself before you go.
Okay. Now you're going crazy.
Okay, what a fun way to end the year. Dehydrate myself.
He's an MMA fighter.
To stand still for 6
That's right.
hours.
You cut weight. You cut weight.
You
to
It's
get-
not that hard to hold it for 6 hours.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
That's
saying.
the thing.
No,
I was
it's
just
the
on a
liquid, the
9-hour
liquid.
flight. I was on a 10-hour flight yesterday.
You didn't get up.
My kids didn't get up. I got up twice. What are you, crazy?
Yeah. Oh, you would struggle
Yeah,
with
kids
that.
can handle it. No
Kids,
problem.
Yeah, okay. The woman beside me, she didn't move for 10 hours.
Totally still. Statue lady.
Pretty much.
I'm
What about
convinced a
her
lot of
legs?
these people there that have been there for like a long time to line up and get near the front, like these people just love to be on television, man.
Yeah, that's it.
They're like,
That's all it is.
you are spending your entire December 31st waiting just to do that.
I think it's
And
just
get on
shot at me, stick my
CNN.
tongue out. Like,
Yeah, but
It's wild.
Also, it's national television.
Yeah, I
like
know.
people all over the country, all over the people in Canada would tune in to watch the ball drop in Times Square. So I don't know. That seems like the place to be, right? If you're
That's the one.
We turned it on CNN after the college games, which was really wild. The second game, semifinal game, like it hit midnight,
Yeah.
like when they were missing a field goal there, right? Anyway, we found our way to CNN like later on, and Don Lemon in New Orleans
Oh,
trying to host a New Year's Eve. It was,
Gong show.
It was a gong show. It was incredible. Like you're like, is this a joke? But I guess this year they didn't want them drinking and stuff
Yeah,
too.
they told them don't get
and
us hammered.
Oh, it was,
Oh wait, there was no Anderson and Andy.
well, no, we weren't watching, but they were prior. But
Gotcha.
it's so wild. It's like this. Is
It's
insane.
great television, man. I love it. I love that shit. But yeah, you can't see Andy and Anderson if you're in Times Square though.
No,
with
no,
your
no.
big glasses
No.
on.
Yeah, you get your funny hat on,
Yeah.
Planet Fitness hat.
Yeah.
Like it's
Still a Planet Fitness
I think
joint?
so.
Oh,
I think
come on.
That
Come
should
on,
be
man.
the pick'em next year. Whoever
got-
loses this year,
Gotta fly to New
you
York
gotta-
City and go to Times
6
Square.
hours. We
Yeah.
put like a GoPro on you all the time. You're live streaming the whole time. It'd be funny,
It'd be very funny. That's a hell of a punishment.
right?
So, I mean, to me, I would not want. It's so boring.
So boring. If it's cold, it's bad. Really bad.
just listen to a podcast.
Listen to a podcast. Oh, look at this guy in a top hat and his 2024 glasses. He's got his earpods in. What are you listening to, man?
Yeah. They
True
definitely-
crime podcast. Just catching up.
You missed the countdown because you're trying to like skip some ads or something. All right. Fun tweet there from Celebrity Hot Tub. That's a great still segment here in the
Great
C block.
C block.
Yeah.
C block is back, baby.
All right.
I went to watch the Peach Drop here
No,
in
you
Atlanta.
didn't.
No, I didn't. But that's a thing.
They do it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not
Hey,
quite
dude,
New
I don't know
York
what
Times.
do they drop in Nathan Phillips Square in Toronto. Jerome, let us
The
know.
ball.
Hockey puck.
Oh, smart. That'd be cool.
People, according to Jerome, people did the Nathan Phillips Square wait, not realizing they didn't even do fireworks this year.
Wow.
I didn't even know they did fireworks, period.
Time, man. What is time, too? Like, don't get me started on that. Like, jeez.
Time's only been around for like 150 years. It's crazy, man. Time is a new invention.
Okay. We gotta
Ridiculous.
We gotta call
Just
it
came
there.
up with time.
But Caesar did the calendar thing. Long time ago. 25. 26, hun. We've been doing it for a while.
Oh, man. All right, well, let's call this podcast there, even though it doesn't matter because time means nothing. We'll be back tomorrow here from the Classic Factory all week long. Like the video, subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube, follow us across all the social media channels. If you're a podcast listener, leave your boys a 5-star rating and review. And again, Happy New Year. Good to be back. Tons of games on tonight. We'll have lots to talk about on tomorrow's show. We should start making some 2023 NBA predictions, too. Start locking in some bold predictions. So if you've got one, drop it in the YouTube comments or tweet it in at No Dunks Inc. Until we see you, Clipper Bro.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, happy holidays are over. It's over. Back to regular life.
Embrace the day, people.